Now that we have a basic understanding of what BIM is, let's turn our attention to the BIM team. As I have previously stated, BIM is a process, and it's an approach of all the team players playing well together. Even though everybody on the project is trying to achieve the same goal, we sometimes don't end up where we should be. And when problems occur, we typically start the blame game and start pointing fingers at other trades. We just need to learn how to get along and play well together. If we look at the traditional relationship of the owner, architect, contractor, the owner has a contract with the architect, and the owner has a contract with the contractor. There is not a contract between the architect and the contractor. With contracts like this in place, the owner, architect, and contractor will put up barriers to protect themselves from being liable. As opposed to working together, they will be reluctant to share information and work as a team. This causes conflict and is not what is best for the project. A new type of relationship that's becoming more common on BIM projects. This is IPD, or Integrated Project Delivery. In an IPD agreement, instead of separate contracts between the owner and the architect and the owner and the contractor, there is one contract that binds all three parties into one team. The owner, architect, contractor all share responsibilities and all three share liability. If the project is successful, then all are successful. If the project is not successful, then all are not successful. This naturally encourages all to share information and play well together. This type of relationship is why BIM is being required more often by owners. Owners want successful projects, and this is a way to improve success. These two images are displaying how data or information is shared on a project. The image on the left represents a non-BIM project. We have lots of players involved on a project, and they're all trying to get information from other team members. As you can see, it is a jumbled mess, and there's no wonder why we have so many RFIs and change orders on a project. The image on the right is representing a BIM project. Now, it's exaggerated, but the point is still there. Instead of having to go to other team members to get information, one can go straight to the source, the BIM model. For example, if I'm an electrical contractor and I want to know the height of the ceiling for the lights, I don't need to call the architect. I can go to the model and see for myself exactly what the ceiling height is. Yes, there'll still be phone calls and RFIs, but on a BIM project the communication is simplified because everyone can get the information from the source, the model. Another huge issue on projects is the loss of knowledge as the project is passed along through the different phases. This chart is representing a typical project. From left to right are the different phases of a project: plan, bid, build, and operate. The amount of knowledge is indicated on the right from less to more. When a project begins, the design team does not know very much about the project. They know the vision that has been shared with them by the owner, and that's about it. As the design progresses, more and more knowledge is gained. By the time the project is ready to go out to bid, the designer understands and knows a lot about the project. When the project goes out to bid, there's a huge drop in knowledge loss. The estimators for the contractor have not been involved with the project, so they know nothing about the project. Yes, they have the construction documents, but that's it. But by the time they put their final bid numbers together, they know a lot about the project. They probably even know more than the designers. They have picked up on any mistakes or errors that may not have been noticed by the designers. Once the project begins construction, the estimators turn the project over to the contractor to build the project. Again, the contractor has not been involved in the project up until now, so their knowledge is limited. but they have the advantage of the construction documents and the notes and findings from the estimation. So they are starting at a higher level than the bidders. As they build the project, their knowledge about the project becomes very high. They not only know and understand the project, but they know they had to move something because it didn't fit, or they had to make this change due to the problems that were discovered. Once the project is completed, the contractor will hand the building over to the owner. The owner now has the benefit of a finished building as the starting point of his knowledge. But even with the building being completed, the owner does not know everything about the project. For example, the owner may not know what size air filters are required until they need to be replaced. As he operates the building, his knowledge continues to increase. This loss of knowledge is huge and can cause the project time and money. The goal would be to simplify or smooth out this curve so there's not such a drastic knowledge loss as the project is handed off to the next party. BIM tries to do this. It smooths out the curve. With all players being involved at an earlier phase of the project, the loss of knowledge is not as drastic. It allows the information to be passed on and to be continually gained by all parties.